Hey, Shalom, Akim, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noise in this gospel, broad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is just a quick lesson through the spirit. I know brothers were pretty much going into this whole UFO sighting or the chariot sightings. I say it that way because UFO just goes into unidentified flying object, which we've spoken on chariots. We've been speaking on the chariots, but we continue to speak on these things through the spirit because this is the times we're in, and these sightings are becoming more relevant as to the prophecies. Okay, this is the lady I was talking about earlier. Her name is Gina Marie Coven Hill. I've been subscribed to her for a while, and I don't get into too many of her shows, but she pops up on my timeline from time to time, and she goes in on the chariots. I mean, she goes back, and she really goes in on this phenomenon, okay? Because you got what they call Project Blue Beam, which is basically left hand miracles or enchantments on the left hand side through Esau, Edom, and we told you, that Esau was going to try to fake the second coming. So the scriptures tell you when they say the Lord is here, Lord, don't believe them, because you're going to have many people that's coming in the name, calling themselves the Lord or Christ or a messianic type figure. Okay, you're going to see strange things from the heavens, but you have to learn how to decipher what's on the left-hand side and what's on the right-hand side. Because when Yahweh Shai comes back to the planet Earth, you're going to know about it. Okay, there ain't going to be some mirror image of some blue beam or some projector beam flashing off the sky for some underground laboratory showing you a picture of white Jesus in these chariots. Okay, because we've kind of speculated through the spirit that the what do you call it, the Project Blue Beam or the fake second coming was going to be the image of white Jesus. But since the elites watch and study our videos, they know, and they already know, that the Lord is coming back in a big ship, which is considered a UFO. They know this already. So if anything, they may fake some type of alien invasion, okay, when they make it seem like Martians and shit are coming to take over the planet Earth. But we know that through the spirit, how the Lord is going to come back with style and great authority, okay, because it's stated that the whole earth trembled at his presence, man. So we're going to understand what's going to happen prior to you people. Oh, well, that's an alien invasion. No, man. This is the chariots of Yasharallah coming to beam up the hopeful elect and to lay this man's kingdom flat, because this man's kingdom, they got to go, man. Okay, I was kind of watching where I clicked on the brothers from Cali, and the elder brother Barack was going in, man. He said the earth is dying under your watch. Okay, we're literally dying under Esau's watch, man, because he's poisoning the fucking air. Early this morning, it was a blue, beautiful sky, but what does Esau do? He's chemtrailing. And those chemtrails, eventually that barium oxide, it breaks down your immune system, okay, and you get sick. You ingest that poison, you get lightheaded, you start having dizzy spells. On top of the nonsense that they're spreading in the air with the C-19, it's just a big pile of death, okay, that this devil has been conjuring up, and we need out of here. So it makes sense that our help, the defense, the angels on the front lines to defend us, man. Okay, so I have an article here. This is from Military Times, which is a very reliable source. Get information from the articles, etc. But we filter these articles through the spirit and through the scriptures, man, to give you brothers and sisters, that few sisters that watch, to give you the proper understanding of what's being said in the scriptures, man. Because it says Pentagon UFO chief says alien mothership. Now, this is the catch. See, they put that word mothership in there, mothership, but we know goddamn well it's the fathership. Okay, I believe it was Earth, Wind, and Fire. They had a song called Mothership or Swing Low, Sweet Cherry, something to that magnitude. Let Me Ride. They knew, okay, they understood, or they have some type of insight what these things were, versus the average citizen. Oh, those are aliens. Well, of course you can say that alien is because they're not from this planet. Okay, they're considered strange or unnormal. So anything that's foreign would be considered alien like. But no, these are the angels of the Most High, man, and they're coming to defend us. Okay, like, and I'm gonna echo it again. The brother lawyer said, hey, be prepared to meet your guardian angels. And that was so spiritual. He said that today in a video, because I prayed last night. I was praying to the Most High. I was talking to him, rather. We have our father and son talks, sometimes for hours, man. But I was praying to the Lord. I'm like, look, reveal who my guardian angel is, As presumptuous as that may sound to you, Jakes. Hey, we want to know. We want to be solidified in our protection. and I know it's coming. Okay. So Pentagon UFO chief says alien mothership in our solar system possible. See, he says possible, but he knows that the chariots are in here. They're here. Okay, they're already here. They're already on the planet Earth. They're cloaking. Okay, they're sifting in and out of the portals. They're underwater. Like this chick, Gina Marie Colvin, she says the UFOs are coming out of the ground in Hawaii. Now, I haven't watched this video yet. It's a 26-minute video, but if the spirit is on me, I may watch it. Okay. But it says, does anybody think the Project Blue Beam is unfolding before our very eyes? And this is supposed to be what they want us to see. Right. And you can say that, but if anything, chariots do exist. Everything ain't Project Blue Beam, bro. All right. So it says there's a possibility that extraterrestrial, which you go into Corinthians, the 15th chapter, it goes into bodies terrestrial and celestial. Okay. Extraterrestrial is basically a celestial being that can dwell upon the earth. Okay. Extraterrestrial means superhuman, meaning like you can dwell on a planet Earth, but you still have that supernatural ability. Like Superman, he was what they would consider a celestial or extraterrestrial being, because when you go into the word terrain, it just means of the ground or of the earth. Like a lot of times if you go to Google Maps and you type in a terrain, it will show you like the fuzzy footage of the ground or the dirt. It just means the earth, terrain. Motherships and smaller probes may be visiting planets in our solar system. The head of the Pentagon's Unidentified Area Phenomenon Research Office noted in a report drafted shared Tuesday. Now, notice they've been coming out more and more with these articles. Okay, they just declassified it like, what, 2 years ago? Maybe longer than that, but the public has been getting whiff of these things for the last couple of years or so. Okay, because since prior to the last decade, UFOs was very sporadically talked about, but the government knew. That's why when you watch the old 90s series of the X-Files, and it tells you that the truth is out there, they show you the UFO at the end of the scene. You know, and I would play the footage, but I don't want Esau to give me with a copyright strike, so I'll refrain from it. But you can look up that the intro of the X-Files, that creepy ass music and so forth. But it says Kirkpatrick, who was appointed as director of the Arrow when it was founded in July 2022, previously served as the chief scientist at the Defense Intelligence Agency Missiles and Space Intelligence Center. It says the AARO was established to investigate unidentified objects of interest around military installations, according to Pentagon's release press. And what the angels are doing, they're studying your defenses, man. Okay, they're knowing how to take you down. Just the whole point when militia was like, open the young man's eyes so he may see that it'd be more with us than with them. And then he looked around, it was chariots of fire. Okay, like when Elijah was taken up into heaven by the chariots. Okay, you got chariots that activate silos that destroy missiles in mid-launch. You see, the chariot by day and the cloud by day and the pillar of fire by night. That was a huge, what you would consider UFO, man, a fathership. Because how were we going to navigate through the wilderness of Zen? I think it was I always get it mixed up. Let me look it up real quick. I think it's the wilderness of Zen or the Suez of Akbar. One of those. I think it's the wilderness of Zen, if I'm not mistaken, that we traveled and we went through the Red Sea and then we traveled through to get to the Promised Land, which took 40 years. Should have been an 11-day trip. But basically, the chariot or the fire by night or the pillar of fire by night was none other than the chariots themselves or the chariot. Okay. So how the hell was we able to navigate? You didn't have no fucking lights out in the wilderness, man. It was pitch black out there, let alone when there was a new moon, which is a Shabbat. Okay. But it says an artificial interstellar object could potentially be a parent craft that released many small probes during its close passage to Earth, an operational construct not too dissimilar to NASA's mission. So basically they saying that the bigger ship is ejecting smaller ships and then they're circumventing the Earth. Okay, which can very well be true because it was a precept that went into that. I think the apostles brought it out and brothers were speaking on it, how the smaller ships are coming from the bigger ships. And it makes sense. All right, let's get a precept real quick. Isaiah 66, and I'm going to start at verses. Matter of fact, let's get something different. Let's go to Psalms 68 and 17. It says, the chariots of God are 20,000, even thousands of angels. Okay, let you know that these are the angels that's riding these vehicles. So I'm going to say, well, why do angels need to ride vehicles? Well, why don't they? Okay, you got to understand that the Most High, he's very dramatic in his movie. It's one thing we see angelic beings flying through the air. I mean, that's one thing. But no, the Lord is going to make it come back in style. Okay, the Lord is coming back to match Esau's artillery, but on a higher level. Because Esau has Hoover crowds and shit that resembles UFOs too. Okay, Esau is gonna bring out the. Trust me, we ain't seen half the shit Esau got. Esau is gonna bring out the shit, man. Esau is gonna open up the closet, gonna pop the trunk, gonna try to pop the trunk on the Lord, and the Lord gonna pop a bigger trunk on him. Trust me, brothers, we gonna see some shit that we've never seen before, bro. That's why I'm praying and hoping that the Lord preserves us to see, because I want to see this shit go down. I want to be right there. I want to see the whole thing go down. You know what I'm saying? Now, the Lord has our story written in the movie, how he's going to do, but I pray to the Lord that I'm worthy to see the downfall of this system. I want to see Jacob's trouble kick off. I want to live through it. I want to live after it. You know, I want to see the missiles come, the chariots. I want to get beamed up. I want to see it all. You know, like I tell brothers, man, hey, should we go to the movies and see some good movies? Hey, I ain't seeing shit less than Dolby or 3D IMAX. Like, if it's a movie that I'm paying money, my hard-earned money to go see, trust me, it's going to be in the best format. And, hey, I'm willing to see that here. Okay, we don't do digital shit no more unless it's just a movie I don't care about. I ain't doing digital movies, man. It's either IMAX or up. You know, GXL too, you know, which that's a good format. But you get the point. But it says the chariots of the Most High are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them as in a Sinai in the holy place, man. Because remember when Moses was taken up and he got the commandments and the Lord showed him the seasons, showed him the beginning and the end, you know, because prior to getting the law, statutes, and commandments written on tablet, everything was transported orally. Okay, things were being recorded, but the Most High gave Moses the understanding of creation. That's why when you read the book of first 5 book of Moses, Genesis, Exodus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Leviticus, the first 5 books, basically the beginning Genesis, the Most High gave to Moses when he went up into the chariots, into the heaven, the chariots, to get the understanding. And you can read that about that in 2 Ezra 14, when it says that the Most High kept him by him a little season, and he revealed into him the beginning and times of the end. Okay, so he got that understanding because the Most High gave him the revelation. And this is the reason why when he came down from the chariots, he had that glow on him and he had to wear that veil. Okay, because he was in the presence of the Heavenly Father, which no other man of the Lord could be in the presence of the Heavenly Father outside of Yahweh Shai, man. And Moses, of course, because the Most High dealt directly with Moses. Okay, but no other prophet alone has actually seen Yahweh. I mean, they've seen him in visions, and you know, he manifests himself to the Lord. He come in visions and manifests himself as a so-called black man. But Moses actually got the commandments from the Lord himself, man. And you can say Yahweh Shai, okay, but we know that Yahweh Shai and the Most High, Yahweh, they're one, okay, which they're not the same being, of course, but he said, me and my Father are one, because everything that the Most High do, he does through Yahweh Shai, the mediator, okay? So going back to the article, it reads, and it says, an artificial, matter of fact, I read that, it says the director of the Pentagon's all-domain anomaly resolution office wrote in a research object co-authored by Abraham Loeb, which sounds like a Malachite, chairman of Harvard University Astronomy Department. It says Kirkpatrick, who was appointed as director on the Arrow when it was founded in July 2022, previously served as the chief science and defense intelligence agency missile and space intelligence center. It says the Arrow was established to investigate unidentified objects of interest, which I feel like I read that already. Didn't I? I don't know why I feel like I read that, but it's like I'm reading the same shit. I don't know, I feel like I'm reading the same thing. I remember reading that. But anyway, we jumping around a little bit. But it just goes into information about you know, like the Space Force and so forth like that. You know, like the Space Force and, you know, Trump setting up the military branch, or it's an extended branch of the United States Air Force. Like, let's look this up. U.S. Space Force. United States Space Force, which is basically, I think it's like one of the, It's one of the 8 uniformed services, the world's only independent space force, along with sister branch to U.S. Air Force. It says the Space Force is part of the Department of the Air Force, so it's a derivative of the Air Force, but just the Space Force. It says it is part of the Department of the Air Force and one of 3 civilian-led military departments within the Department of Defense. It says the Space Force, through the Department of the Air Force, is overseen by Secretary of Air Force, civilian political appointee who reports to the Secretary of Defense and is appointed with the president and sitting confirmation, okay? It was founded December 20th, 2019, which is 3 years ago. And I believe they got that shit up and running like prior to Trump leaving office, but nonetheless, why would they have a space force if they knew that an outside force wasn't looming? Okay? World, matter of fact, let's do UFO sightings around the world. Around the world, and you should have Babylon the Great. If it's gonna pull up the particular depiction I'm thinking that it's gonna do, then you will see that the majority of the UFO sightings are in America. Yup. You see this? Because this is the place that the Most High have his eyes set upon, man. Okay, the Most High has his eyes, like the scriptures say, that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. The angels, man. Now, this is Roswell UFO incident, War of the Worlds broadcast, 2014. Reported UFO sightings since 1906. So they've been over here before. I mean, you got Australia, okay, China, parts of Africa, Finland, okay, the UK. You notice like around the UK and America, they have the most sightings because this is that sinful ass kingdom. That's scary, man. The Lord is really scoping this place. He's really watching, man. So he sees everything that goes on in this wicked ass kingdom. And ain't nothing is going unaccounted for. All right. So this is the book of Amos 9:8. It says, behold, the eyes of the Lord Yahweh are upon the sinful kingdom. It says, and I will destroy from off the face of the earth, saying that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, says the Lord. Okay. It says his eyes are of a sinful kingdom. That's twofold going into the Israelites, because we the nation that sinned against the Lord. And on top of that, the so-called UFOs, man. I mean, the eyes of the Lord, okay? Babylon the Great, Salakia. 1,000 times. So let's see what it says. Yep, Sirach 23:19, it says, such a man only feareth the eyes of men, and knoweth not that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men, considering the most secret parts. So the Lord got his double agents here, including us, okay? We're the agents of Yahweh Shai. We basically the boots on the ground. Why the angels, they're the Space Force, or they're the Air Force. We're the boots on the ground. We like the Marines, okay, the Army. The Lord got the Space Force or the Air Force, and then you got the Navy, which is Leviathan, man, okay, and the sea creatures. And just me speculating, I think there's a species of Leviathan. I don't think it's just one. Because we know when the Most High creates things, he doesn't just create one prototype. He creates a species or a plethora of similar creatures, man. You know what I'm saying? Like even within the animal kingdom, you got dogs, you got hyenas, you got wolves, okay, tigers, lions, okay, you got domestic house cats, bobcats, you got what you call those sphinx cats, man. You know, even among humans, you got the different classifications of humans, the different races. You got the monkeys and gorillas and orangutans. So we know that the Lord is very diverse. You know, and I can't wait to see what the Lord's creation really beholds, man. Like I can't wait to be able to go into other dimensions, other worlds, and see the creation that the Lord has bestowed for us, man. I just can't wait to understand what this abode that we're on, what does it has to offer. Because right now, shit, our short time on this and on this side, it's been nothing but hell and death, man. I mean, the earth is beautiful, man, but look at what Esau was doing. To the point that trees don't even sprout in time. Like last year, it literally took the trees damn near all the way to May to sprout. And when they were sprouting, they were just half sprouting. Okay, we didn't get a full plethora of leaves on the trees till like late fucking July. Okay, usually you have that term what they call April showers, May flowers. But last year, the trees were half sprouting because what I found out, these trees are overly pollinating. Okay, and what happens is that the male trees, they cut down a lot of female trees and they keep a row of male trees in the pollination of the trees and so forth. and the seeds and so forth, they're like basically overly they're overly, how can I say it to make it make sense? They're overly busting, okay? And honestly speaking, trees, they have a way of procreation. You need a certain amount of female trees and a certain amount of male trees that's within the same vicinity so they can create a more healthier ecosystem. But when you have a row of male trees and they're overly pollinating and overly getting their shit off, and then nothing comes from that. You know, it's like, wow, the way the Lord has the nature set up. I never knew that until I researched it, how the trees actually procreate. You know, now it ain't going to be a tree laying on top of a tree popping each other. No, but those roots underground, they touch, you know, they connect. And then the male trees lay off a particular chemical and it pretty much gets the female trees and it pollinates everything, and then everything becomes balanced. It's cold-blooded, man. The trees actually communicate between one another, but you would never know that because Esau has destroyed everything. Okay, that's why the scriptures say, going back to Sirach 30, 23, and 19, it says, beholding all the ways of men, considering the most secret parts, man. And look at this. This is the eyes of the Lord over a sinful kingdom. Okay, because, hey, when the Lord was going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, then he sent the angels there to warn Lot and tell them they scopated. They were like, look, man, get out of this place. We're going to get ready to destroy it. Because it was to the time that he was asking the Lord, would thou spare the city of such and such? Lord, like, yeah, maybe. To the point that it got down to nobody, to the point the Lord was like, look, I'm just finna take this place out. Worry about you and your family and get up out of there and don't fucking look back. Okay, but what does peasy head woman do? Of course, she looked back and got her eyes lit up. Okay, she basically became a pillar of salt. Basically, when you break it down, she died from dehydration, basically, because the rays of the blast. The Lord told her dumbass not to look back. And of course, she had the mindset of the typical woman in America, don't want to give up the goods. They missed it. You know, like a brother said in Jacob's Trouble, he said, if any woman come up to him and she's still missing the world, then, hey, she got to go, you know, you know, and you Jakes too, man. You know, you're still hell bent on Babylon, living in Babylon. We want a new world. I want a world without Babylon the Great. And it's a beautiful thing that our brothers are showing up here, because we know that Yahweh Shem Yahushua is getting ready to release holy hell on the planet Earth. And I believe that these angels are set up around this place to give brothers that protection when needed. Because in Daniel, it tells you about the at that time, Michael shall stand up, the protection of thy people, or the prince of thy people. He's going to lift up a standard. And we're going to need angels to really intervene in our direct lives. So when we in jams and shit like that, we running from martial law or however it works, hey, you may have a guide out the way to say, hey, look, don't go that way. Go here. Go to this underground tunnel, rest in this bunker for 30 days. Food and shelter is here. Just sit tight and just be cool. That can be your angel telling you that. Okay, I believe that. I believe in that intervention is coming real soon, man. In healing. All right. So this is the book of Revelation 19. And I'm going to start at verses 11. It says, and I saw heaven open, and behold, there was a white horse. The white horse represents a UFO, a chariot. And he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True. And in righteousness he doth judge and make war, because the Lord is coming back to put shit down. Okay, Yahushua ain't coming back for a fun boy session. He's going to get, he said, I stained all my raiment. Okay, he said that he trampled the winepress of the Almighty Yahweh alone, man. Okay, so Yahushua is coming to shake shit up. He ain't coming to fuck around, man. He ain't coming to fuck around. He's coming to get his men, his elect, and he's coming to put this devil down, man. And it's going to be that bad, because when you have to send Yahushua back, the creator of all things, through the Most High, that's how bad you know it's going to be, man. It's to the point you got to bring the creator back, man. Okay, and that's going to be a dark, dark day. It's going to be a gloomy fucking day, man. Okay, so, hey, brothers, gird up. Esau is getting ready to catch it. It says, and he set upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doth and make war. And his eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. And he had the name written that no man knew but he himself. And he was clothed with the vesture dipped in blood, and his name was called the Word of Yahweh. And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, and with it he should smite all the nations, and he should rule them with the rod of iron, and he treaded the winepress of the fierceness and the wrath of the Almighty power. Okay, and that's the point, man. So, hey, Yahweh Shem Yahushua B'Shem Kakodash, man. Hey, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Blessings and salutations to the whole elect. Lord's will, you will edify into the next lesson. Shalom and a bubble ball.